This is a tutorial on how to use repetition in animation in Alice. Just very quickly, you should already know some of the basics to understand this tutorial, but I want to tell you about specific features of Alice you can use to do repetition and create something similar to this fish video. I'm not going to give you exactly how that video was created. Instead, I'm going to focus on the commands used to do something like this very specifically, so that you can use them generally in any kind of project that you have in Alice that uses repetition for your animation. Okay, so we need to start out with a world, and right now I've got a world with nothing in it. And we saw that the fish swam back and forth in the example. So we want to see that kind of back and forth motion. And whenever you identify that you need repetition in a program, you're going to need some sort of repetition structure in order to accomplish that. And in Alice, one of those repetition structures is called a loop. Okay, so we want to create a loop, and to do that, what you do is you drag loop out into Alice like this, and then it asks you how many times you want it to loop, and we'll see how this is meaningful in a second. So I'm going to tell it to loop 5 times. You can change this after it's created, so it's no big deal. Okay, but I actually don't have an object yet in my world to use the loop with, so I'm going to go ahead and add I'm just going to add a bird. Okay, so here's my bird, and I'm just going to position the camera so that we can kind of see the bird if it moves back and forth. Okay, I'm done adding objects, so that's how you add objects. Okay, so there's the bird in the world, and right now I have a loop that says it's going to do something 5 times. Right now it says it's going to do nothing actually 5 times. So to get the loop to act on the bird, we need to drag the bird from this window in here. Okay, now the bird isn't going in there, some action on the bird needs to go in the loop, and in this case we want the bird to move forward, and let's just tell it a meter. Okay, and now we have a structure here that is going to move the bird forward 5 times. We actually want it to also move backward, so we need to drag another action from the bird in, and this time it's going to be moved backward a meter. So right now we have a structure that is a loop that will repeat 5 times, and it will move the bird forward and backward. Okay, what does that look like? Take a guess, but I'm going to show you now. Hopefully you've guessed or thought about what it will do, and this is what it does. It moves the bird back and forth a total of 5 times. Okay, if I change it to 2 times, it's going to do it 1, 2 times. So you see you have control over the repetition, and you have control over what it does in the loop. Okay, so instead of moving the bird forward and backward 5 times, I could move it up and down 5 times. So I can make that kind of change, and then it'll just do this. I'm sorry, that was 2 times, right? Yeah. So that's how you get it to move backward and forward and backward 5 times. In the original example, the bird also turned around. So that's another action. So think about where it needs to turn around. There are different commands in the bird to do things like turn it around. So you can turn left or right by certain amounts. Okay, and you can insert more commands into the loop by dragging bird in and choosing those different commands. I'm going to leave that to the viewer. But what if now you want to do something different at the end, like the fish did in the other video, like move in a different direction but only do it 1 time in the entire program? Well, that's what you're going to get if you drag an action outside of the loop. So if I want to turn to face the camera, the bird will turn to face the camera. And what if I want the bird to move toward the camera? Just going to have it move forward. Now it's facing the camera, so I'm going to move forward a meter. Now we have it repeating something twice, but then it turns towards the camera and moves towards the camera. So I've combined actions inside of a loop and actions outside of a loop. So some of these actions will repeat, the other actions will not. Here's what that looks like. Okay. So this isn't a complete recreation or an accurate recreation of the fish video. Instead, it shows you some of the components that went into doing the fish video. So hopefully you can use this tutorial and these components and put them together in different ways to accomplish whatever you are trying to accomplish within Alice animation using repetition.